If you've been using Google Plus, you're probably familiar with a picture like this. This is a rounded picture that I've got over here. Now, if you can see over here, it is actually a square image, alright? But we converted through CSS into a rounded picture. Today we're going to be learning how to do that. So we're going to be starting with an empty HTML page. This is purely in HTML. We're not using anything else. Let's get started. Alright, so let me begin with my HTML page. We're gonna need a head tag, and then in here we'll have a title of CSS rounded border, rounded image. Alright, we will have a style tag. Now it's totally up to you whether to include the style sheet within this page or to sort of link it through the link tag. I'm going to be linking it straight. I'm going to include the style straight through, but it's your choice. Just a minute. Alright. Now we'll have an image tag. I have a link over here from lorempixel.com, and we are going to convert that. We're going to be using that. I can close that off now. Alright, I don't really need an alternate attribute. Anyways, so if I load this up right now, we have a square image, and let's begin with styling this. It's a pretty short one, so we just add a class. You might have guessed this earlier, but anyways, class equals rounded, and we'll create the rounded class in our style sheet. So we have dot rounded, and in this just do that. Alright, so in dot rounded we are going to add, now for example this picture right here is 256 pixels by 256 pixels. So what we do now is, let me open up my calculator real quick. We do 256 divided by 2, and I know it's 128, but just to show you, anyway, so it's 128 pixels. So now what we do is we do border radius 128 pixels. Now if we save that and refresh here, we have that. Now we need to add the sort of provider kind of, you know, the different prefixes for different browsers. So for Opera we have -o border radius, border radius. We're gonna do the same, 128 pixels. I'm gonna copy this. So we have added for Opera. Now we need to add for Mozilla. Actually we'll add for Microsoft first, like this is for Internet Explorer, and then for Mozilla, paste that in, and then finally we add for let me see, yeah, WebKit is for Chrome and Safari. Paste that in. Let's just align them so they're neat. There we go. Oops. There. There. So now if I refresh, you'll see that it's still rounded. But what if the this was to change, for example, the resolution? Now if I suppose bump up the resolution to, or reduce the resolution to 128, and if I refresh this, you see it is a smaller image, but it still works. The borders still work, but we will get a sort of CSS error over here if we go for W3 sort of validation. So what we do is now let me bump it up. I reduced this right now, so if I was to bump it up, so if suppose it was some sort of user input kind of thing, and if you do that, you see the rounded image is no longer there. So we need to change that. It's a pretty easy one actually. I'm just going to change all of these real quick. We select all of these and we do 50%. Now if I refresh, we see that it is properly working on everything. Now if I was to change this to even more, like 1024 and 1024, we're going to save that and refresh. You see that we still get a rounded image. So that's how you get rounded images. That's all for today. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.